Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today I'm doing a DVD collection video, so let's do this. Alright, okay, so if we start up at the top, we're going through alphabetical order. I'll stop for ones that are significant in any way or like just important in any way. This one right here, Chinatown. This one is one that's been on my watch list for a while now. I'm really excited to watch this because I hear it is a really good film. Um, Comment down below what you think of it if you have seen it, but I'm really excited to watch this. Going down to the lower level. Remember, these are just in alphabetical order, so these are just random films. You got Dumb Money, which is another one that I've been waiting to watch for a while now. Um, on this row, you also have like films like Gladiator and Goodfellas that are some of my favorite films of all time. Going down to this level, you start to get some stuff like The Meg, where I've watched the sequel, but I've never seen the original, so it's a bit random. You got The Nice Guys. I bought this recently. I'm so excited to watch this. Oppenheimer didn't manage to get into cinema because I wasn't 15, but now I've seen it. It's absolutely amazing. Um, there's also Seven Samurai, which I've been waiting to watch for a while. Once again, The Shawshank Redemption. I saw this in 2023, in fact, and I loved it. It's amazing. Now, we're starting to get into more of like the genres, right? Like I have like one genre section which is horror franchises, just horror movies. Um, so start with Five Nights at Freddy's, Friday the 13th, then a few Halloween films, then Quiet Place Day One, then why is the Prestige there? I don't know why that's there because that's not meant to be there. I'll have to fix that later. You got some of the Scream films: Scream 1, 5, and 6. You got The Shining, The Thing, and Winnie the Pooh: Blood and Honey. Now, if we go down a bit, we got some space films here. We got Gravity, Interstellar, Martian. I don't think it would have affected anything if I just put them up with the alphabetical order. You next got the Blade Runner films. I love both of these. This one, the original, is like my third favorite film of all time. You also got the two Boss Baby films, two of the Bourne films. You got two versions of Elf, one on 4K, one just a normal DVD. You got the Expendables, 1 and 2, Home Alone 1 and 2, classics. John Wick 2, John Wick 4. I've seen John Wick 4 and John Wick 3 for some reason, but not the other two. Next, you got these two, and just a bunch of other films, to be honest. The rest don't really matter. By the way, the Sonic films, I do think that they get better as they go on. Sonic 1's the worst. It's not bad, but it's just kind of mid. Sonic 2 is good, and then Sonic 3's peak. Um, then you start to go into more of like franchises with Ninja Turtles and Mission Impossible, and even Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit with Jurassic Park here. You got another Jurassic Park there, well Jurassic World Dominion with there's Benny. Hi Benny. There's Benny. Anyway, then you go to Rambo, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Hunger Games. I'm doing to bring the camera in a little bit if Benny gets out of the way. Anyway, then you got like Terminator films with actually a steelbook right here of Terminator Salvation. You also got some of the Fast and Furious films, and then you go into the Ice Age, and this is where you're getting into more of the franchise stuff. Down on the bottom section, if my mum can, yeah, okay, yeah, you can see. Anyway, you got the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts films, every single one, and all the Star Wars films. So now, if we move on to this section over here, you got the Disney films. With I'll just go through them: The Jungle Book, the Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, The Lion King 2, Zootropolis, Toy Story, another version of Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, Cars, Toy Story 3, Monsters University, Coco, and two versions of The Incredibles 2. Then, in this section, remember if you can follow the camera over here and zoom in a little bit. Like not, yeah, alright, that's good. You got Toy Story 4 right here in the corner. Don't know if you can actually properly see that. Then you got a bunch of DC films, just going along here. A lot of them are quite random, but like you got stuff like the Dark Knight trilogy, one of the best trilogies of all time, and some other pretty entertaining films like Shazam. Right, then you go into James Bond with two James Bond films here at the end of the row. Now, if you go down to here, you got a full little section of James Bond films in there, and in here there is just a few more James Bond films. And down at the bottom, there's a couple of sets of like multiple films where there's a 2 pack of Planet of the Apes, 3 Scream films, 3 Jurassic Park, both Top Gun, 3 Die Hard, the Back to the Future trilogy, the Godfather trilogy, the original trilogy of Indiana Jones. You got all the Rocky films, not including Creed. Now over here, you just got some of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, 2 football games, and this TV series. Now onto the last section. This is my favorite section personally. Back a little bit so I can be in frame. This is my favorite section personally, as Marvel is one of my favorite things of all time. Probably up there, probably top 3. Um, so here we go with this section. You got the Sonyverse films, Mum. If you come in a little bit, the Sonyverse films with the 2 Venom films, Morbius, Craven the Hunter, and then you go into more sort of, I guess, like separate things like the Fantastic Four universe with 2 versions of the Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. You also got Ghost Rider and Hulk. If you get in over here, you got the Wolverine trilogy, amazing trilogy, especially Logan here. Then you go into just more X-Men films. Just a lot of them aren't great, but you got stuff like X-Men: Days of Future Past, X-Men, and X-Men 2, and First Class is all right in my opinion. Um, then you go into the Spider-Verse films. These are absolutely amazing. Some of the best animated films of all time, in my opinion. Now, I'd consider all of these MCU. Now, the reason that the original Spider-Man trilogy and the TASM films and the Deadpool films are all in there is because technically Deadpool and Wolverine is an MCU film now, and Andrew and Tobey Spider-Man appear in No Way Home. So, what's the point in not including them in this bit, especially because otherwise it wouldn't fill up this whole bottom bit. So I got the original Spider-Man trilogy here, ma'am. Original Spider-Man trilogy here. Then you got Phase 1, including TASM 1, the Amazing Spider-Man 1, all the way up into the Avengers. And then you got Phase 2, including the Amazing Spider-Man 2, all the way up into Ant-Man. And then, most people in the video, watching the video, will know what the phases go like, but I'm just going to let you know anyway. Then you got Deadpool, all the way up until Spider-Man Far From Home. And then I've got all of Phase 4. I've got all the movies up to that point. Phase 4, I think I have all the movies from. And then Phase 5, I don't. Phase 4, I have, all the movies. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternal, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Phase 5, I've got one of the worst films and 2 of the best films in Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine to finish off the Marvel bit. Now, that is my full DVD collection. Mum, if you take a couple steps back and just film the whole thing a bit, right? Go, up and down a bit, showing them the entire thing. Oh, and there's Benny at the bottom. Uh, anyway, I think I have an alright collection. I think I have a decent collection of the films. Um, there's some films I definitely prefer over others. There's some that are absolutely peak, like Morbius, one of the best films of all time, and you got something like let me just hang Goodfellas. That's a really bad film, isn't it? Yeah, Goodfellas, one of the worst films of all time. Um, one of the worst films. Yeah, so you got one of the worst films of all time in there. Goodfellas, one of the best films of all time in there. Morbius. Anyway, guys, now that I've showed you the best and the worst of my film collection and just all of it, um, Mum, you're kind of holding the camera funny. Anyway, now that I've showed you my full film collection, I guess it was a little bit of a room tour because that's kind of the main attraction in my room. Mum, stop. Focus on me. Focus on me. Like, subscribe. See you all next time. Goodbye, Mum. Can you? Yeah.